This is section 6.2, total purchase price. So in the first question, we have what is a sales receipt used for and what does it show? So first, a sales receipt is used for proof of purchase. What does it show? Well, it shows the selling price of each item or service provided. The second question says, what information is needed in order to compute the total purchase price? So the two things that we always need to compute the total purchase price is the selling price and the sales tax. Okay? Again, the selling price and the sales tax. The formulas that we are going to be working with in this section are this one. Sales tax equals total selling price time or multiplied by the sales tax rate, and also the total purchase price equals to the total selling price plus sales tax. We now move to problem number 1. It says Kate Ferguson bought a dome tent price at $179.50 and a propane stove price at $39.50 in Dallas, Texas. The combined city and state sales tax rate is 8.25%. Now we have to find the total purchase price. Now if we go step by step, here on step 1 it says, find the total selling price. That pretty much says that I need to add the price of the items I bought. So in this case, Kate Ferguson bought the tent first at $179.50. But she also bought the stove at $39.50. And so I go to my calculator and it's $179.50 plus $39.50. That gives me a total of $219. So my total selling price is $219. Okay? So now I'll go for step 2, and it says find the sales tax. So according to my formula, sales tax is equal total selling price times sales tax rate. Okay? So I know that my total selling price is what I just found, right? So I just write down 219. And my sales tax rate, according to the problem, is 8.25%. Now, before working with this percent, remember that in our previous section, we learned how to convert percents into decimals, right? So we're working in this case with 8.25%. Step number 1 was to drop our percent sign. I have 8.25. And in our second step, we needed to move our point 2 places to the left. 1, 2. Now, in this case, remember 8.25, it's still a number less than 10. So, we will need 2 zeros before. 0.0825. Okay? So then I go ahead and write this amount right here, and I'll be multiplying by 219. That's 219 times 0.0825. That gives me 18.0675. Right? So this is 18.0675. Since we are working with money, we should be going to the closest number. So it would be 18.07, just so we can be more accurate. Of course, you can also work with all of the decimals, but this is just the simple way to do it. So we have now 18.07. On step 3, it says find the total purchase price. According to our formula, the total purchase price equals total selling price plus sales tax. So the total selling price is what we found on step number 1. So that's $219. And then our sales tax is what we found in step number 2. So I just go ahead and write 18.07. And then I add it. Go to my calculator and I write 219 plus 18.07. That gives me a total of 237.07. Again, we just found step 1, the total selling price, step 2, the sales tax, and we added so we could find the total purchase price. Now we move to problem number 2. Here it says that William bought two two-way radios for $59.99 each and 2 surge protectors at $19.99 each. What is the total purchase price if he lives in West Virginia, where the sales tax rate is 6%? So again, remember step number 1, we need to find the total selling price. Now this changes just a little bit because he actually bought 2 radios in 2 surge protectors. So our first item, the radios, cost $59.99 and our protectors cost $19.99. So now I go to my calculator and I have to find how much were those radios. So I multiply 2 times $59.99. That's 119.98. So let me just write it down here so we know exactly how much it was. It's 119.98. And our protectors is what we need to find out. So we go to our calculator and we multiply 2 times 19.99. That's 39.98. Now what I have to do is that I need to add both of the totals. That gives me a total of 159.96. So I just found my total selling price. Now I go to step number 2 and I need to find the sales tax. According to my formula, sales tax equals total selling price times sales tax rate. So my total selling price is what I just found, 159.96. And in the problem, it specifies that William lives in West Virginia, where the sales tax rate is 6%. Right. So I will be working with my 6%. Now again, what we learned in the previous section is to convert percent into decimals so we can work with them. First thing, we drop the sign, then we write them out again. We are pretending that there are 2 zeros here since it's a whole number, so we move the point 2 times to our left. It's a number less than 10. It's a 1-digit number, so we need to add 2 zeros, 0.06. And so here my sales tax rate is now 0.06. I need now to multiply that. So I go to my calculator, and what I had, 159.96, I multiply it by 0.06. That gives me a total of 9.5976. Again, if you see here, 9.5976 is working with 4 numbers after the point, or 4 decimals. So in order to make it better, shorter, so we can work with it, I can just approximate that number to 60. So now I write that answer here. This is what I got, 9.60, after I approximate the decimals. And now if I go to step number 3, we have to find the total purchase price. Right, so the total purchase price, the formula is equal to total selling price plus sales tax. So my total selling price is, again, what I found on my first step, 159.96, plus my sales tax rate, which was the number I found on step number 2. And I just add both numbers. So 159.96 plus 9.60 gives me a total of 169.56. So this is my answer, 169.56. Now it's your turn to practice this on section 6.2 of your textbook. Do your homework and complete the problems 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, and 12.